Hey guys, this is Jent's daughter coming back to you today, and I want to share with you something I've never shared before. This time of season, which is in July, there's so many fresh vegetables and goodies that are grown in the garden and we can get from the farmer's market and those kinds of places. And coming up years ago, we used to, about this time of year, freeze corn. My mom would. We had a big garden and we would do fresh corn. My mom's favorite was the Civic Queen corn, and I went to the farmer's market today to get some Civic Queen corn. They only had this variety, and I wish I could tell you the name of it. I do know it is first cousin to the Civic Queen, but it is not the Civic Queen. It came in the shucks. I shucked it, and then I got the silks out of it, and I washed it real good. And what you see here is the results of that. So I'm going to show you how to cut this up and exactly what I'm doing to get this corn prepared so we can have fresh cream corn. You can get whatever you would like to get. Can you see that? I'm just cutting it ever so gently, and you need a sharp knife to do this. So I'm cutting it kind of thin because I'm going to go back and I'm going to recut again. This is some of the best corn I think that you will ever put in your mouth. I like to get it this season because I can prepare it all the way. I can cook it and it'll be ready for us to eat at that given time or that day, completely ready. And then if I have anything left, then I can freeze it. See, now this is the second go round. You see this? This is the second go round. Takes a sharp knife, so be very, very careful with this. Be very, very careful with this because you can sustain a cut if you don't mind it. So I'm hoping you can see this, and I'm trying to get it all in view so you can see it. But you can see the different layers, if you will, of the corn. Don't want to cut it down to the cob yet, because what we're going to do is what my mom called, we're going to scrape the cob. You see how I'm getting this at the very tips of it. I'm just going over here and I'm cutting it ever so gently. Watch your wrist. I'm usually pretty good at this. This is called what I call scraping the cob. And guys, you can get this if you're not able to get it in the grocery store. Your local farmer's market may have it. Vendors on the side of the road may have it. But this is some, I'll tell you, it's some good eating. Scraping that cob all the way around. You know, when the winter months set in and you want something fresh that tastes fresh and homegrown, this is a great go-to. And I have to say it's a little messy and very, very time consuming, but let me tell you something, guys. It is totally, in my opinion, it is totally worth all the effort that you will expend in it because it just cooks up so well. Now, if you see, like this is part of the shucks, make sure you take that kind of thing out. Make sure you don't want to cook that at all. So again, I just wanted to make sure you see this. Going through that ever so lightly, ever so gently, and just turning it all the way around there and just cutting it up. With so many of us children at home, when I was coming up, we had to have a garden. My daddy worked full time and he came home and made sure that the garden stuff was attended to, and my mom was a homemaker because she had so many children there. And as we got older, we learned how to work the gardens and how to can and preserve and to freeze items. Now I'm going to go flip this over here to this side. I'm making sure that you guys can see this, and then I'm going to do again, scrape the cob. All right. I'm going to finish this up, scraping the cob, and then I'm going to come back and show you exactly what I'm going to do to cream this corn. Be back in a bit. Guys, Gent's Daughter is back, still cooking with tons of love. That's guaranteed to put smiles on all of those who enjoyed this meal or any meal that I cook and you cook with me. Guaranteed to put smiles on all their faces as well as comfort their bellies as well. All right, so we have started on this corn, this fresh corn off the cob, and I've shown you how to cut this up. So you should have that. And you guys know, Gent's Daughter, I always say, you do you and I do me, simply meaning that this is your dish. Once you buy the corn, once you do all the work with it, kind of like the little red hen, you know? She did all the work. You're going to do all the work, so I'm going to tell you what I use, and you can modify it. You can go by the exact same way that I do it, or you can make it uniquely you. That's a good thing about cooking. So I'm not too big on salt, but you know, if you want to use some salt, you could use, and I am, of course, I'm using some salt. And I would say I use maybe about 2 to 3 tablespoons. And I really don't measure, because salt to me is one of those things that I rather put less in than more, and then add it as I go, as my taste palette needs. So another thing I'm going to use, but I'm not too fond of this as well, is sugar. And this is sweet corn, so I'm not going to put, this measurement is 1/3 of a cup. And I'm not going to even put 1/3 of a cup of sugar in here, simply because it's naturally sweet. And I know a lot of people like to add sugar to vegetables and a lot of other things, but me, not so much. And then I'm going to add some flour. And I'm using this right here, the White Lily Self-Rising. You could use the all-purpose, because this has, it does have, of course, seasoning in it already. Oops, I'm making a mess, but that's all right. That's a part of cooking as well. So I'm going to use, let's see here. That was 1. Let's start out with 3, and then we'll kind of go from there. Maybe 3.5. All right. We'll kind of go from there and just kind of see how it's working out. Okay, so can you see that? I'm going to slowly pour water in here, and this is about 16 ounces right here. But I don't know how much corn you'll use or how much corn you'll get, right? So I can't tell you exactly how much the measurements to use. This is, I would say, about 4, maybe 5 cups of corn right here, maybe a little bit more. I know it's not any less than that. And if you see some things in this corn, like I see some shucks, just go ahead and get that out, you know. That's a good thing, again, about your own cooking. You see some things that you don't want in it, that is not meant to be in it, then what do? You take it out. Simple as that. Going to the restaurant is a little bit different. You don't know what they're doing behind those counters, do we? We just pray and sanctify the food and just hope and pray for the best, that those cooks behind the counters, that they're clean and they will have our best interests at heart when we go in those restaurants. But you never know. So, but when you do it yourself, that was a whole 16 ounces. And I think I'm going to use a little more and just a tad more flour as well. Yeah, I've got to use a little bit more, because I like for my water to come up over my corn. So what I'm doing is just bringing adding more water to this. I don't know if I'm bringing over 16 more ounces approximately. I may not use the entire 16 ounces, but we'll see. You can always sample your, oh yeah, no, it's getting like I like it a little bit loose. Like I like it. I'm stirring really, really good. Stir, stir, stir. making sure that that flour is incorporated. And a trick with this also is that you want to cook this over a low heat. I'm just gonna go, just sprinkle one more. And this flour, of course, acts as a thickening agent. Add more sugar, add more salt. You can add your favorite seasoning. I got my Jit's Daughter seasoning. I'm not gonna add it in the cooking stage or this phase right now, but I may add it in a little bit later. We'll see. Are you guys seeing this? I hope so. Add a little more water here. And then I'm just about ready to pour it up. I want it to have a good loose consistency, and it is what I call ready now, okay? I don't have but just a tad more water. So I'm gonna add just that little bit, and we're gonna call it done. You can also always sample it to your tasting. You could taste it now. I know a lot of cooks do. I never like to sample my food. I'm just kind of weird like that. Excuse this mess right here. But what I'm going to do here, I've melted approximately a tablespoon, yes, of butter. And I'm going to pour my corn up in this pot. And I'm gonna mix that butter up really, really good. You guys see how good this is looking? Man, this is going to be some good eating. Some cream style corn, fresh, and probably not eat it all at once. Well, not probably. We will not eat it all in one serving because it's just two of us, and I'm gonna have some left to freeze. Okay, so I'm gonna stir this up so that margarine will get incorporated in there really good. And I'm gonna put it over a very, very low flame. And the reason you wanna put it over a low flame is simply because we got so much flour in it, it will stick to the bottom of the pot if you are not constantly stirring and watching. Okay, I'm about to put it over a low flame. And the next time you see this, it will either be about halfway done or all the way done. So I think this turned out pretty doggone good. My corn is ready to be freezed. I was hoping to put this, because it is liquid, into a plastic container, and I would very much recommend that you do the same. I don't have enough. I didn't have any, and I went out to see if I could find some, but I could not. So, you know me, I'm going to improvise. So what I've decided to do was to use this right here. You see it, these are the freezer bags straight from Walmart. So I'm going to let the corn cool down, and then I'm going to pour the corn inside the freezer bag, and then I'm going to freeze it. Okay, how simple is that? Again, when we want a quick meal, I will probably just open up a bag of corn, let it defrost a little bit, and then cook it just a little bit more. I will season it to my taste if I want to add more margarine, more sugar, more salt, whatever, Jit's Daughter seasoning, whatever I choose to do, then that's what will happen. But I think it turned out pretty doggone good. And again, I'm going to cook it a little bit more once I do decide to eat it on that particular day. Thank you guys for watching Jit's Daughter. I appreciate you so very much. Please don't forget to comment engage with me, please do that. I need you to subscribe. And of course, click on the notification bell so when I upload material, you will be notified. All right, until next time, enjoy, enjoy, enjoy.